I first met Jamie Kappelmann at one of our very first Mom's Night Out at the start of JJMF. And what I remember most about Jamie is just how open she's been to getting support and leaning on others. And now that she's been involved with JJMF for quite some time, she's been a very helpful resource to other parents, especially new parents that are getting connected with the organization.
The story for us kind of meeting together was in college, playing co-ed softball. And we kind of met through fraternity and sorority.
I was third base and you were left field, right?
Mm-hmm. It kind of worked out where it was kind of a really good match for us, I think. So I think it was. Yeah.
During these meetings with the other parents, I was like, why is this so hard to find resources when people are already dealing with so much emotional hardship with their child's sickness? I remember thinking if I had the time, I'd create a website that just kind of mapped out what's available. And when June died, I decided to create JJMF.
I think there is a large gap in terms of systemic support for parents who have children with a severe neurological impairment or medically complex. JJMF has been a very useful resource for me as a pediatric neurologist to be able to send families and offer a place that they can go to for help.
Good or bad?
Ava was born in 2014.
Sophia was born in October of 2015. So it was a really quick turnaround that we had. It was unexpected, but wouldn't change it for the world with her.
Sophia was born, and at the hospital we were notified or were told that she failed the newborn hearing screening. That kind of led us to a very long journey of figuring out what her challenges might be. It was discovered that she had another rare gene mutation called SPATA5. And that is a neurological disability that causes major developmental delays, the hearing loss, additional vision concerns, along with ongoing seizure activity, neurological problems.
It was 24/7. It was, if she got sick, the monitoring of her O2 stats, or it was doing vest treatments, or it was doing breathing treatments. There was always something that we had to watch out for, and the littlest things could end her up in the hospital. It was a roller coaster.
It's all right.
It was tough for us to find out where we can rely on, or who we can rely on, or what doctors to go to, or what equipment are we going to need.
One of her physical therapists had told me about the organization because she had actually been a therapist to June Jessie, and had known that their family was starting the memorial for her daughter. I think we were so you just knee deep in the medical components of it that I didn't ultimately reach out. That's one of the hardest things I think to do as a parent, is just take that first step to join an organization or talk to people about how you're feeling, or, just expose yourself a little bit. It wasn't until probably a year, 2 years later that I actually finally took the leap.
Yeah, it definitely helped to have that connection where you can actually talk to parents that are going through the same thing. Was a huge help, I think, for us. Yeah, it just feels like you're on an island. It feels there's only so much that you can share, with your significant other, because you're both going through it in a different way. It's stress. It's added stress that adds to the relationship. It's just a tough situation to be in.
You gotta have somebody to talk to that can give you coping mechanisms to live in the world that we have to live in. not only just for yourself, but for your marriage.
If a parent is in a good place from a mental health standpoint, they are better able to recognize when their child is in need of help. Just being able to create a loving and supportive environment and being able to interact with your child in a very encouraging and supportive way. Doing that, I think, would be a lot more difficult if you're coming from a place where you're not feeling well yourself from a mental health issue, if you're depressed or if you're anxious.
One thing that you really need is that support and finding that understanding and knowing that you're not the only one out there. And I think JJMF, they provide that tremendously.
There are events for the families and the children. There are events for just the moms to, vent, if you will, with a glass of wine in our hands. There's events for the parents themselves to just get out. And a lot of the women who are a part of those events are my friends, right? That we've become friends. I kid you not, if I need to ask like a very hard medical question or a very hard question, they're the first person I go to because they have been there. They've done that. It's just a great place too for our older daughter Ava to also meet other siblings. I mean, oftentimes we forget about the fact that there is the child that has the extensive needs, but then there's the siblings that are going through the same things. And they too need people.
We are just coming to a turning point where it is just so much bigger than June. And I just think that it's going to continue to grow. And I would love to help every child who needs financial assistance. I want to be able to provide support to every parent who needs support. I want to make their lives easier because they're already going through so much.
I am incredibly proud of the work that JJMF is doing, and I'm really proud to be associated with it. I think it's because, from my perspective, they are meeting a need that really hasn't been met in the St. Louis area.
Yeah, we can't do this by ourselves, and every little bit helps. I'm thankful for the community, and I'm thankful for being able to be a part of celebrating another child that's just like mine